So trade season got started yesterday. The Sacramento Kings acquired DeAndre Hunter. They send out Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis to the Cavaliers. They also send Dario Saric to the Chicago Bulls, and they throw the Chicago Bulls 2 second-round picks for their troubles. As a Bulls fan, love it. Anytime that you're taking on second-round picks to take on a bad contract when you're a bad team yourself, that's a good idea. That's good business. And the funny thing is, the Saric contract, not even that bad of a contract. It expires after this year. So the Sacramento Kings, they gave the Bulls 2 draft picks to take on a contract that expires in a couple months. So once again, this is a what the fuck are you doing trade for the Sacramento Kings. Let's replay the whole offseason for them as far as this trade goes. So first, they declined Keon Ellis's option, meaning that this summer he's an unrestricted free agent instead of being a restricted free agent. Incredibly stupid. Keon Ellis, nice young player. At the very least, you would want to have his rights as a restricted free agent, because then you could potentially work out a sign and trade worst case scenario if you're going to lose him. Then they overpay for Dennis Schroeder. No idea who they were bidding against in that contract. And then you start the season. So they got Dennis Schroeder. They got Keon Ellis. They go and they sign Russell Westbrook, and they proceed to play Russell Westbrook a ton of minutes and bench those guys and tank their value. So what the hell are the Kings doing? Nobody knows. And the funny thing about this trade is the Sacramento Kings very easily, there's been reports all over the league that they very easily could have moved Keon Ellis for draft capital. The Sacramento Kings are last place in the Western Conference right now. They should be trying to move people for draft capital. They should not be doing trades where they're taking on 28-year-old players and their big contracts. So in this trade, the Kings don't save money. They take on money. DeAndre Hunter is owed a lot more money the next 2 years than Dennis Schroeder is. They don't get any draft picks. They send out draft picks. How does this trade make any sense for the Sacramento Kings? And I'm sorry to tell you guys, DeAndre Hunter, not a very good basketball player. There's a reason that the Hawks couldn't wait to get rid of him. There's a reason that if you look at last year's record after the DeAndre Hunter trade, the Cavs, they kind of fell off a little bit after that trade. And then this year, I'm not going to blame it all on DeAndre Hunter, obviously, but the fact of the matter is he's one of these guys who, because of the way he looks, because of his body style, he's marketed as a 3-and-D player, where when you watch him, he doesn't play defense and he can't really shoot the three. He's one of those phony 3-and-D players, a guy who gets that reputation solely for being 6'8" and kind of being athletic. So I'm not a DeAndre Hunter fan at all, and I don't understand why the Kings will bring him in, especially because they already got Keegan Murray on a huge contract. They still got DeMar DeRozan. They still got Zach LaVine. I don't understand this trade at all for the Sacramento Kings. For the Cavaliers, this trade to me, it indicates something else is in the works here, because it just doesn't make sense to bring in Dennis Schroeder when you already have, Lonzo Ball on the roster, Darius Garland on the roster. I understand Lonzo's been terrible this year. I'm the president of the Lonzo Ball fan club, and I will tell you guys, Lonzo Ball has been horrible this year, but I don't think you would take on 2 guards into your rotation if you weren't planning on moving one of those 2. Most likely it's Lonzo Ball. He has a very tradable contract because his $10 million next year is a team option. So if there's a team out there that's looking to dump salary, they're going to take on Lonzo Ball and maybe even get some draft picks for their troubles. But yeah, it would indicate to me that something else is in the works. I don't think they're going to trade Garland yet, unless maybe they get real frisky and they work something out for, I don't know, Michael Porter Jr. or Lauri Markkanen or one of those guys, even though neither of those guys really helped the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I don't think Garland will be the move, but taking on Keon Ellis, taking on Dennis Schroeder, to me, that signifies there will be another move for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I do like this trade for the Cavs, though. Schroeder, he's one of those guys in the playoffs. He's going to show up. Keon Ellis, he's going to provide them with some nice defense in the backcourt, and he's been a pretty good three-point shooter the last couple of years. So overall, if I had to give out grades for this trade, I'm going to give the Chicago Bulls an A. You're taking on an expiring contract and getting 2 second-round picks for it. That's good business. I'm going to give the Cavaliers, I'm going to give them a B just because I think it's a good move. They saved like $50 million in luxury tax too, which in this new apron era, you can't discount that fact. So I'm going to give them a solid B. Schroeder fits a need, and Keon Ellis definitely fits a need. And the Kings, you get an F. Nobody knows what the hell the Sacramento Kings are doing. Nobody will ever know what the hell the Sacramento Kings are doing.